The secret of getting ahead is getting started. Good morning, everyone. I'm Elin Maria, student editor of Let's ERUDITES, and I have been entrusted with the privilege to steer today's inaugural ceremony. It gives me immense pleasure to welcome each one of you to the second International Legal and Policy Conference on the Future of Transport, Fall or Rise of the Transport Sector, held under the triangular association of Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association of India in partnership with Center for Aerospace and Defense Law's Nalsar University and Let's ERUDITES. The overwhelming response to this conference is more than 1,000 registrations, which itself manifests the dimensions of this conference, which brings together 30 distinguished panelists and over 8 sessions in 2 days. At this juncture, I wish to introduce Let's ERUDITES to everyone. Let's ERUDITES is the brainchild of few undergraduate students of law, with the primary aim to provide a platform for socio-legal intercourse. As an e-journal, Let's ERUDITES is to advance legal knowledge across the borders by bridging the gap between the legal fraternities around the world to foster an intellectual environment for a meritorious community of law students and legal professionals. Is my voice echoing?
It's better now. Yeah, it's back.
It's better now, right? For the welcome address, we have on board Mr. Sagar Singham Sethi, the Managing Director of the Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association of India and an adjunct professor of Center for Aerospace and Defense Law, Nalsar University, Hyderabad. He's also an advisor to Let's ERUDITES. I warmly welcome you, sir, to deliver the inaugural address.
Thank you, Eileen. Good morning and welcome to the second edition of the Future of Transport Conference with the theme Fall or Rise of the Transport Sector. On behalf of the Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association of India, I welcome each of you. A very warm welcome to our dignitaries, Honorable Justice Mohammad Mushtaq, Sri Sudhendu Sinha, who is yet to join, and Professor Dr. Balakista Reddy. And participants, a very warm welcome. So the Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association was initiated by like-minded people with the objective to serve as the leading and essential association addressing the developments in airspace and transport law and policy in India and globally. It will also be a networking platform to inspire, empower, connect, and enable lawyers, policy experts, students, academicians, industry specialists, and professionals to create opportunities for further development in this field of law, which is quite niche. So what does transport sector and the people working in the transport industry mean to each of us, to the society, and to the economy? Let us face it, our supermarkets are stocked with food supplies. Medicines and medical equipment were delivered on time. Transport services continue to serve the most vulnerable in the society, though it was limited during the health crisis. And it continues to connect rural areas to urban, and our small and medium enterprises are able to connect to the world. And let me give you another example on how transport works on a daily basis or interacts with you on a daily basis. And this is something I hear from my leadership at work. So do you know what it takes to have a cup of coffee at a cafe or to have a coffee on your table? It takes the collaborative efforts of 30 plus companies across 50 countries to have a cup of coffee on your table. And it's a fact. So this highlights that our dependence on physical connections continues, though we are very well connected these days digitally. In this respect, transport sector will continue to play a major role as a reliable partner to other sectors, could be agriculture, construction, pharma, and tourism, amongst many others, and will become more resilient to withstand the health crisis in the future. This brings me to the point, why this conference and what is the objective? So let me tell you, as many opportunities exist in this sector, those many challenges are ahead of us. As we look forward, digitalization and environmental sustainability are two areas that will transform the way the sector will meet the demands of the customers and its sustainability goals. However, with lack of revenues and investment in infrastructure, over-regulation or no regulation on certain aspects, lack of proper policy framework, and the fact that there is no strategy that takes a holistic view of the transport sector are challenges the industry continues to face and will need to address. There is a greater need for an efficient transport network in order to reduce the overall CO2 emissions, because these days one of the key goals is to reduce or to decarbonize the transportation sector. So this conference is unique, where it brings together all segments of the transport sector, its industry specialists and professionals, lawyers and policy experts to discuss the opportunities, challenges, and the way forward. From space sector to aviation to urban transport, a wide variety of issues will be discussed by 30 plus speakers across 8 panels in these 2 days. The clear objective of the conference is to raise awareness among legal and non-legal professionals on the various issues that concern the transport sector, be it business, operational, legal, or policy. We are happy to associate ourselves with the Center for Aerospace and Defense Laws, Nalsar University, and the student-run e-journal, Lex Erudites, in the second edition of the Future of the Transport Conference. So participants, tune in and listen to the experts. I am sure your appreciation of the transport sector will only grow. For the lawyers and policy experts here, listen to the business and understand the business needs, as this highly regulated sector is running on very thin margins. Once again, welcome one and all, and glad to have put together this conference with the able support of many whom you will meet in these 2 days. Thank you.
Thank you, Saga sir. Now we have Professor Dr. V. Balakista Reddy, Respected Registrar, Nalsar University of Law, and Head of Center for Aerospace and Defense Laws at Nalsar University. One of the very few in India who had the vision and dedication to promote the area of air and space laws. Professor Reddy sir has been teaching this niche area of law for more than 20 years now and continues to contribute immensely to the academic and research credentials in this field. He also provides advice to the Government of India in matters concerning aerospace laws in particular and other international laws in general. Over the past few years, he has also been working on draft space legislations for India. It is an honor to have you here, sir. Over to you, sir.
Good morning. Good morning and welcome to one and all. Honorable Justice Mustaq sir and Sagar and all friends. So this is a again conference majorly done by your Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association and Lex ERUDITES. So our center is just helping, but the Sagar is a product of the center. I wish to inform you all the participants that part of the academic social responsibility. You all know that earlier we used to talk a lot on the CSR. Okay, corporate social responsibility. But in recent past, I am also little, focusing on the CSR versus ASR. Or ASR means academic social responsibility. If you say that Nalsar is the best law school, what is the contribution of Nalsar towards the society? That context actually, we as a university has taken up many issues relating to land, to air, to space, all. One of the active center in Nalsar, again, we have 20 centers, is the Center for Aerospace Defense Law. And part of the, again, academic social responsibility, we want to disseminate information about the aerospace related activities. Part of that, we have introduced some of the courses, both, masters and also diploma courses. I'm sure, subject to correction, this is the only center which is offering these kind of courses like MA Aviation Law and Air Transport Management, MA Space Technology Telecommunication Laws, Masters in Security and Defense Laws. Then we have recently introduced again Maritime Laws, both diploma and masters. All these are all the courses which are the need of our, we thought, and it is true also. So imparting the education, part of that, we also conduct many conferences, and one of the conference, and again, it's happening is the second International Legal and Policy Conference on the future of transport. This time, theme is fall or rise of the transport sector. We all know that COVID has impacted, civilization a lot. So I call it a COVIDization. Like globalization, liberalization, privatization, all these things have impacted the global society. The COVID is going to impact. And today, friends, we are all know that we are living in an uncertain world. Uncertainty means anything. When this COVID is going to end, we don't know. Again, third wave, we will say fourth wave, whatever. So this uncertain world, one certainty is that transport sector is playing a very important role, whether it's for transport of medicine to food supply to everything. So what Sagar said, transport has opportunity, but at the same time many challenges. So part of this two-day international conference, we are going to discuss many challenges, opportunities, of course, definitely, but what kind of challenges, how these challenges can be overcome. That is the whole objective purpose of this conference. While mentioning the objectives and scope of the conference, Agar mentioned, I need not again say this, but part of this thing, Nalsar came forward, and again I want to thank our partners. Okay, I am giving you partners designation to you all, both aerospace and aviation lawyers and Lex ERUDITES. So you feel happy that you are associated with Nalsar and this. So I think in the course of time, we are going to discuss many challenges which posed by, again, recent developments, whether it's the globalization, liberalization, all those, and more particularly, I said again, COVIDization. Please, understand that COVIDization is going to impact, a lot in the years to come or decades to come. What, I presume as a scholar, as a student of, again, international law, transport law, what the impact, globalization has made for the humanity. COVIDization is going to do. Or here, earlier we used to talk about before Christ, after Christ. But friends, now I am telling you that pre-COVID, post-COVID. That is the era we are going to witness. In this juncture, actually, I think air transport or transport sector in generally are going to play important role. We are going to discuss many issues I don't want, but as a part of the registrar or head of the Center for Aerospace, once again I welcome you all, and I thank you also. When participants are there, we are going to discuss very many issues next 2 days. I'm sure the participants are going to get good knowledge about these discussions. Once again, I thank you, Sagar and his team. Sagar, over to you. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Balagista Reddy, sir. Next, for the much-awaited inaugural address, let me invite Honorable Justice A. Muhammad Mustaq, Judge, High Court of Kerala. He has become a part and parcel of Let's ERUDITES with his uninterrupted support to the student community, and he was keen enough to join us today to ensure that the novel idea behind this conference is upheld. Sir was also a part of the first edition of the conference that took place in Hyderabad in 2020. He holds a master's degree in space and telecommunications law from Paris University, and he's also a member of International Institute of Space Law and Indian Society of International Law. He is an invaluable asset to the field of law, and we are extremely honored to have you here, sir. Over to you, sir.
Thank you, Eileen. Very warm good morning to everyone. It is my pleasure to be part of this event, being a second edition. I was physically present when it was hosted at Nalsar a couple of years back. Well, program like this, be able to create a space within you for a change. Your take today is not a mere lecture for academic or for policies to be bought. I believe most of the attendees are the legal professional or associated with the legal policies. You have a sense of urgency. You have a sense of transformation we made in the country that alone can bring changes. India, of course, is said to be the largest aviation market. Has been predicted at least third largest aviation market, the studies of Indian Aviation Industry Report 2021. The second largest populated country could not tap big market for obvious reasons. We have entangled in the policies, decision, legal issues, etc. And our domestic market becomes so competitive, many can't survive. But there is a total disconnect between policymakers, legal think tank. Perhaps that should be the concern of today's event. A country can't progress without there being a legal support for any development it made in front of transportation, aviation, technology, or whichever sector which it focus or invest. Future of legal profession perhaps stands in a different pedestal, not like the one we experienced. We learn from the past and try to evolve as a lawyer, a legal profession. What is passed on to us by last generation or many other generations. But future of legal profession is not like that. Technology is evolving. Every day you find change in the technology. The future, as it Balakrishna already pointed out, is more uncertain. The only certainty is uncertainty. In that, we have to fix our role. You have to think in terms of future. Maybe looking in terms of present, current term, it look like a more unrealistic. Whether it be unrealistic or not, in a future which will be controlled by authority of machine, algorithms, the machine will lead us in every segment and in every aspect of our life. The future division is going to happen not within the humanity, but a division with machine and humanity. In that, every relation assumes so much of importance, whether it be in a space industry or aviation industry or any other industry. How we create a relationship with the machine is the most important phase of our life. So next generation lawyers, legal professional has to think in terms of future, which you might now either we are not experienced. So how mindset has to evolve around such process of thinking. Way back in 2007, I had attended an International Astronomical Congress at Hyderabad, I think. I made a paper on air traffic management based on satellite navigation. I was especially focusing on Gagan constellation. I thought Gagan would happen within a near future. For the last more than, I think it's now down the line in 14 years, nothing has happened. There is something wrong with our system. A lot of investment has gone into the Gagan constellation. We could have been market leader in air traffic management if the Gagan is launched. Where we have gone wrong, I don't know. The entire aerial route for traffic management could have been controlled by air traffic management, the satellite navigation area. Had Gagan had been launched. I don't know what is happening with the Gagan. Similarly, the Europe experienced the problem with the Galileo. They went for investment initially with the private investment, and I think that did not work out. There are many problems with investment and structuring a business. This is where the lawyers and legal professional has to think in terms of a businessman. You are not a legal, you can't look at mere, we are giving a legal support for opinion, for formation or of an industry. Legal profession also has to think in terms of as like a business. Everybody would like to secure their investment. That's what I said. The future of the legal profession is not merely looking at giving a legal opinion after referring to the many of our judgments or some other policy or legislation. You have to evolve yourself in terms like a businessman, technocrat, scientist, and make it happen. That's where your role. Creating a space for you is most important than tapping something there in the market. The most important component, according to me, for any development, whether it be technology, science, and everything, is through private international law. That's what I believe. Every aspect would be secured, regulated, disciplined with growth of private international. If our focus is on those areas, certainly many business can happen with the technological innovation they made, scientific advancement been made. This is where we legal professionals, we have, I would say, lacking. Not much attention is being paid for the support of industries, technological investment, transport, etc., with aid of private international law. Law schools, academic, have to focus on private international law, which would ultimately pay for conducive environment for the business, industry, etc. So this a close-knit relationship being created with industry and law perhaps will ensure a new momentum for the country. And that's where I think a lot of research should happen. There are a lot of policy issues, especially in air transport. Large investments are coming in. Still, dispute resolution is something in the same platform. The lenders find it difficult to recover. Getting entangled with the legal litigations, arbitrations, and years. So they would be reluctant to lend. So we need to have a robust dispute resolutions also to secure the monies of lender. That is ultimately pay for the growth of industry. But statesmen lack some visions because they may not have an idea what is happening on the ground. You can't expect every parliamentarian to know about the issues in ground, which perhaps with expertise of the legal fraternity can be resolved. It is for us to assist the parliamentarian or statesmen to evolve the policies, bring legislation, regulatory mechanism for the support of the industry or business. So while we are focusing on air transport or a space, outer space will still remain untapped for obvious reasons. The lack of regulatory mechanism. In fact, one of the most important aspect of outer space would be surveillance. For environment protection, like Balestri was referring to environment, the only way for easiest way of surveillance through the satellite navigation, aerial remote sensing. many of the issues relating to the environment can be easily controlled and regulated through remote sensing. Kerala is the smallest state, and we have a lot of issues and struggles regarding the utilization of the land, especially after the Paddy Land came into force. Paddy Land Act came into force in 2008. Sometimes we rely on satellite data has been provided by agencies in state. But there is huge commercial potential as well for the satellite data as well. But we are not able to tap those areas, obviously for lack of regulatory mechanism. So we need to synchronize the development on one hand and with the regulatory mechanism. And law schools and academics have to play a pivotal role in developing and formulating such policies. I think like a conference like this certainly will pave way for such a step. And I thank everyone for inviting me. I've been allotted 10 minutes. I think that is a run out. We might be waiting for all other experts and speakers for the lecture sessions. I wish all the best for the organizers and participants. Certainly, I assure Sagar and Balak that I'll be there on next edition as well. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Mustaq sir, for your words of wisdom. We are extremely grateful for the fact that you took out your valuable time to join us here today. Thank you, sir. Next, for the keynote address, we have Sudhendu Jaisinha. He is the advisor at Nidhi Ayog, an APIS think tank of the Government of India, where his focus area lies on infrastructure connectivity and electrical connectivity, and has an experience of 29 years in operation with infrastructure planning, coordination and management at field and policy-making levels in Indian Railways. His performance has been recognized and awarded twice at national level: the National Award for E-Governance 2019-20 for excellence in providing citizen-centric delivery by the Department of Administrative Reforms and Public Grievances, Government of India, and the National Award for Outstanding Service, Ministry of Railways, Government of India in 2006, and thrice at the Ministry of Railways level. I invite you, sir, to deliver the keynote address.
Thank you, Eileen, for the kind words. Justice Mushtaq, Registrar Dr. Reddy, and all the other panelists who are present here. First, let me congratulate to Nalsar as a whole, and of course to the organizers and the team for bringing transport into focus. Let me acknowledge that when this topic was, when I was asked, I was finding it difficult. Rather, I was thinking made me think through that what role laws will have to play in the spectrum of transport and taking it forward. And the more and more I was thinking through, I was finding that laws will continue to play rather more and more role in taking transport to a very, very robust and high and respectable levels. Now, what will be the future? What are all the challenges of transport? It is an age of disruption, as you rightly said. Whether it is in the spectrum of fashion, whether it is in the area of communications, whether it is in the area of law, as Honorable Justice Mushtaq so rightly elaborated, or in the area of knowledge, the way knowledge is being taken through, and of course, transport. Now, with the growing urbanization, transport will keep on changing, and it will be changing still more rapidly. In fact, within the country, we see that among the states also, the paradigm of transports are different. Internationally, if you compare a country, say Norway or Sweden or maybe Denmark, without taking into cognizance that they are small ones, and you compare them with the, say, our country or maybe countries like Bangladesh, Bhutan, then you see that there is a sea difference. The entire spectrum is different. The entire concept is different. It is not only the hardware, but also the approach to transport is different. In a country like ours, where we are just thinking of how to move people, they have gone ahead. They have graduated to the level of making transport gender sensitive, inclusive, synchronized. Ownership is no more an issue. It is the ridership that is an issue. So the entire mobility is changing from the concept of wants and ownership to that of as a service. Now, the current mobility paradigm is based on fossil fuels, to exhausts, and individual mobility. The new mobility paradigm is will be based on low carbon oriented, energy efficient, new mobility services and intermodality. Now today, a plethora of new mobility solutions are available, from say drone enabled shipping and self-driving vehicles to on-demand public and private transportation options and integrated trip planning. But these services and technologies operating in isolation further strains the already overtaxed legacy mobility infrastructure. Bringing together various mobility modes into a single digital mobility platform. Now, digital integration will be another key feature. The potential impact could be profound, with a bird's eye view on the deployment of mobility solutions across urban centers. City leaders can adjust schedules, stops, vehicle types, routings to benefit citizens with optimizing efficiency. Now, this is an age of shared mobility. That market in India is one of the largest markets in the world, with almost 3.5 million rides a day. That is the scale. In value terms, if you see, the shared mobility market is that of US $1 billion in 2019, and it will keep on growing and growing. Now, let me tell you all that India has a very, very respectable place in the area of transport as far as the manufacturing is concerned. And I'm sure here we are also taking that manufacturer's perspective. We are world's largest manufacturer of two-wheelers, three-wheelers, and tractors. Second in the buses, third in the trucks. Our contribution transport to general economy is close to 8%. In this difficult time also, we see that the automobile and the component industry is growing at a rate of at a speed of almost 13% kind of CAGR growth is there. Transport has a big role to play. And this is an age when emphasis is on sustainability, so zero carbon transport, zero emission vehicles. Then comes the area of electric mobility, transformative mobility, mobility based on hydrogen fuel cells, the battery, different kind of batteries that are coming in. And Niti Aayog and Government of India, we have taken many initiatives. In fact, the way, the pace at which these initiatives are being taken, that is also phenomenal. We have got a national mission on transformative mobility and battery storage housed at Niti Aayog. I happen to be the mission director, and we are taking the electric mobility forward. Now, one could always say that the visibility is not there. You know, in a country like India with such a humongous spread, geographical as well as demographic, it takes time to have that visibility. It takes a lot of time. But the pace of growth is such phenomenal and so emphatic, so pronounced, that internationally there is tremendous recognition and reputation. Just to let you know that I was at COP26 representing the country on the UN forum, and I could see that the entire world, they wanted us, India, to take it forward because they knew it, that if we do not play a very, very active role, probably all their concerted efforts will not make a difference to the planet. India has to be there playing a very, very significant role. And of course, our Prime Minister gave the concept of Panchamrit, those 5 commitments which he made, which was hailed. And they agreed that the pace at which probably the transition that they can go ahead with, it will be difficult for us to go ahead with. I explained to them that in India, where almost 3 crore population is 30 million population is directly or indirectly associated with transport ICE vehicle, you can't overnight take a call that let's switch from ICE to electric, internal combustion engine to electric. No, that would be a major, major chaos. It has to be very, very gradual skill building, skill upgradation, taking people ahead along with us, and then we will be able to achieve that we are pulling through. The best and the most positive part is that the states are on board with us. Different state constituents, that is the reason why we just took indicative stand, and the states are taking the major, major stands. Almost out of 25 states today, 18 of them are having their clear-cut EV policies, very, very aspirational. You see it Kerala, Telangana, Hyderabad, Goa, and states like Karnataka, Tamil Nadu, where they are pulling it off in an unimaginable way. That is why I said that within India also you see a lot of difference. If you place Kerala, Karnataka, and Tamil Nadu in one bracket, probably Chhattisgarh and Jharkhand, if you place them in another bracket, then the difference between these two will be the same as the difference between maybe the first set and that of California would be. So that is the kind of gap that is there in transport. But the states are pulling it off. Another best part is that our IITs, we have been able to nudge them. The IITs are doing phenomenal. 9 IITs are having dedicated departments of electric mobility, sustainable mobility. They use different nomenclature, but 9 of them are doing phenomenal. The best ones are. And from Hyderabad also they are doing it. In fact, in IIT Delhi this year, for the first time, they have initiated an undergraduate program, a BTech program on electric mobility. What I'm trying to say is that they are trying to live up to the challenges, the new paradigm, the transition that is taking place all through. Now, the imperatives of winning all these challenges would be reimagining, moving very, very fast. Making India initiative has to be there. That is why we have initiated PLI scheme, production linked incentive scheme for advanced chemistry cell. The same cell that is there in your mobile and in our laptops. The same cell that can be used as a storage device for renewables, the one that can be used in the electric mobility. For the first time, if everything is going right, India will be witnessing Make in India advanced chemistry cell in the year 2024. And that would again be a major, major disruption, cost bringing down as far as and making electric vehicles affordable to each and everyone. Because today we are getting it from outside, we are just kind of assembling it, and this is costing very high. We have got another PLI scheme for automobile components. And we have got the faster adoption and manufacturing of electric vehicle scheme, FAME scheme, that is again taking it forward. And the way we have re-strategized it, I'm seeing the traction. In the month of May, we were close to 3.5% of the target. Today, we are close to 18% of our target. That is the pace at which, and our target is, of course, let's say for the two-wheelers, it is 1 million two-wheelers, supporting 1 million two-wheelers. So when I say 1 million, that means you can safely assume that 5 million of them will be on the roads. That is the kind of thing going on. Different kind of innovative financial mechanisms and instruments are being devised so that it can be taken forward. The issue of affordability can be taken care of. Now, this transformative mobility paradigm will require participation and collaboration across diverse stakeholders groups. And I have every reason to believe that law will have a big role to play. I get a chance to present myself to Justice Sapre on road safety, Justice Sikri, and others on different aspects. I get a chance to go to Parliament to convince the parliamentarians that why it is good to go in for zero emission vehicles and how we can go about it. I urge all those who are present here to collaborate, help India leapfrog to the future of mobility, which will be common, convenient, congestion-free, clean, connected, charged, and cutting edge. 7 C's that Honorable Prime Minister has laid down as contour of India's future mobility at the Global Move Summit. Thank you. Thanks to all the participants. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Sudhendra Sinha, sir, for your enriching address. It is time to make a special announcement now. The second edition of the prestigious Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam and Aerospace Essay Law competition was conducted this year with an attempt to focus on raising awareness of the legal challenges and opportunities in this field of aerospace law. The competition is a humble attempt to foster collective interest in the field of law and transport and to bring the intangible benefits of ideas and perspective of others to the legal and business community. We have received around 75 entries this year, and out of which best 3 essays will take a 1 lakh cash prize together. We have Sagar Singham Sethi here with the much awaited results. I invite you, sir, to declare the results.
Thank you, Eileen. And I also equally would like to thank Justice Mustaq sir and Sudhendra sir for their intervention and also for sharing the insight in terms of what transport really means and how the future of transport is looking, both from a business standpoint as well as from a legal standpoint. And I'm glad that Sudhendra sir, you also mentioned that cross collaboration is key here. One of the things that I have seen over the last 15 years in my experience in the transport sector that I have been is that the fact that legal is still working in silos, or transport operations or business continue to work in silos. And apart from that, the fact that policymakers and administrators and enforcement agencies do not interact also has its own challenges. So I'm glad that you brought out a number of topics, and more importantly, I'm equally happy that you have actually raised the profile of the transport sector, which we have been trying to convince, or which we have been trying to tell our legal students and and everyone in the legal fraternity actually. So I'm glad that you brought the connection between law and transport sector. And thank you once again to Mustaq sir and Sudhendra sir for for your speeches. So let me quickly come back to this essay competition which we have initiated last year, as where the objective of this annual essay competition is to demonstrate the global nature of air and space and transport law activities, and how current and future challenges require a progressive approach in the development and application of law and policy. So my sincere thanks once again goes to the Center for Aerospace and Defense Laws, Nalsar University, and ERUDITES for the support towards this initiative. Professor Reddy sir, thank you for financially supporting the initiative by giving the 1 lakh check that we will be announcing now and will be shared among the top 3 winners of the essay competition. This also goes to show that Nalsar over the years have dedicated its resources in promoting aviation, space, and transport law and policy. And the sponsorship goes to show their commitment to further develop the necessary jurisprudence in these areas of law that are growing rapidly. So as founder and chief editor of the essay competition, let me announce the winners of the second Dr. APJ Abdul Kalam Air and Space Law essay competition. So the third prize goes to Isha Chowdhury. I'm not sure if Isha is in the audience, but congratulations, Isha. Tariq, maybe you want to put the slide because there's the title of the article or the essay that they have contributed. And the second prize goes to Aditya Gatlevar, and the first prize goes to Shushant Arsh Mase Kalho and Kanishka Singh. These are the article was written by both of them. So congratulations to all the winners, and very happy also to see the response. As Eileen mentioned, we had 75 essays, and top 10 essays were actually published by Nalsar in the Air and Space Law Journal. And the top 3 essays now take away these cash awards as well. And the idea again is it's just a very simple idea, but again we are trying to promote from our end the relevance of this sector and trying to connect it to the business world. So thank you once again to all the participants, and hopefully the winners and the participants equally will become ambassadors of this competition. So, and the next call for the essays will be announced end of February 2022. And I hope we continue to, or we'll be able to do this exercise in years to come as well, and try to support in our own small way towards building the jurisprudence that is required in the transportation sector in general. So thank you again, and on behalf of the Aerospace and Aviation Lawyers Association of India, I thank each and every panel member here, and of course you are uh, free to join any of the sessions that we have, because we're going to cover immediately after this opening ceremony the space law panel, and then followed by we have another 3 panels today which will talk about women in transport, uh, because which is equally important. We need to ensure that there is more diversity in our workforce, and also the workforce is very inclusive. And we also have, of course, we're going to talk about infrastructure. We're going to talk about how the airline business has survived COVID and what is the way forward for them. And so then this very important is about urban transport. So the great thing or the unique thing about this conference is that we try to bring all aspects of transport. So and for me, transport is anything that moves goods or people from A to B. So when I say transport, it includes space, aviation, road transport, and as you pointed out, urban transport or landscape is changing, from one day to another, and it's very critical that each and every mode of transport complements each other, and we should be looking or having a very holistic view. And this is one of the pleas that I have to the government, also to the policymakers, or even to the lawyers, that when we look at something, we should have a holistic view as to why a certain segment of transport is working in a certain way. And COVID has really shown that we lacked the resilience, or the transport sector has lacked resilience to withstand the health crisis. But on the other hand, we have also outshone ourselves or surprised ourselves that we actually did extremely well in making sure whatever we could do as a transportation sector. And I take the opportunity to salute all our true heroes, or at least there are so many heroes during the COVID time, but a specific mention should definitely go to all the people who have been working in the transportation sector, irrespective of which mode of transport they come from. Thank you once again, and I'm super happy that the opening ceremony picked up a number of issues that we hopefully will ponder and discuss in the next 2 days. So once again, Sudendra sir, Justice Mustaq sir, and Reddy sir, thank you once again for being part of this opening ceremony. So Eileen, I think I've done the your part, I suppose, but please carry on.
Thank you, sir. Once again, congratulations to all the winners and participants. With that, we have almost reached the end of this inauguration ceremony. We will be commencing the first panel discussion on outer space activism. May the force be with us very soon. Wishing everyone a great day ahead. Thank you, and signing off. This is Eileen Maria.
Thank you, Eileen, for being the anchor. Thank you once again.
Welcome, sir.
Thank you, Suvinder. Thank you, Balas. Thank you.
Thank you, Mustaq sir. Thank you.